There are cosmetics that you see everywhere in this game that everyone seems to have. But what about some forgotten ones that anyone could make themselves? This is my cosmetic locked account that can only use cosmetic items, so I need to make use of all cosmetic items I can. This leads me to find a bunch of unique shields and helmets you can make yourself that I've never seen anyone else use before. But before we get to them, I had to make some upgrades and unlocks because of some new cosmetics added with Dead Man mode, and make some significant choices for what direction my account must go. Now that I have my graceful and much better weapons with the Saradomin Rune Scimitar and the Lava Battle Staff, it's time to start Slayer to work towards one of the best, if not the best, special attack weapon to PK with, the Granite Maul. To start with, I still need 50 attack and I want to do the final quests that give me attack XP that are possible for a 1 defense account. I have 4 quests I need to do. Those are Death Plateau, Underground Pass, Vampire Slayer, and Mountain Daughter. Once I get these done, I'm ready for Slayer. Starting off, let's get Underground Pass out of the way. I need Plague City and Biohazard completed for this, so here is Plague City completed and Biohazard completed. Now it's time to start Underground Pass, and hope I don't fall too much during the quest. There's Underground Pass completed, which is very nice because I got some Agility XP and some Attack XP. And of course, it's a very notorious quest for being a pretty annoying one if you fail a lot. I didn't fail on any of the cavern agility shortcuts. I only fell into the rat pit agility shortcut twice, but that's the only unlucky part I had. And now I get myself the Iban Staff, which I can't use, but it is possible to imbue it, which means I can use it in the future. So I can actually cast some Iban Blast in the future. But of course, it can only really auto-cast Iban's Blast, so having my Lava Battle Staff is still really good because then I can auto-cast everything else on the spellbook. Now let's move on to the other 3 quests. Vampire Slayer completed, Death Plateau completed, Mountain Daughter completed. That's the last of the attack quests I wanted. Now I need to do one more quest and it's Ghost Ahoy for the prayer XP. I don't want protection prayers on this account since I am doing Bounty Hunter for cosmetic items and I can't use protection prayers there. So if I don't get them, my combat level stays lower. But I do want 34 prayer for incredible strength and incredible reflexes. Ghost Ahoy completed. Now I can finally start up Slayer, is what I would say, but first I need cannonballs. So I'm going to go make a bunch of them. Making steel bars at the blast furnace sucks without the ice gloves. They're an item that instantly cools the hot bar down, so I can pick it up straight away. Without them, I keep needing to use a bucket of water, and that means I lose out on one inventory spot that could be an extra bar. Since I'll need so many cannonballs for my Slayer grind, I've decided I'm going to use these steel bars that I'm currently making at Giant's Foundry to unlock the Smith Gauntlets, which let me use the ice gloves on it and gives me Smith gloves imbued. So I'll be able to use them with my ice gloves since I am allowed to use imbued items. Now that the bars are made, it's time to get the points for the gloves. With this sword turned in, I am finally at 2,000. Well, when I put in my pin again. Now I am finally at 3,500 points. This took way longer than what I thought it was. I thought this was going to be really quick, but I had to go back and make even more bars. But I finally have the Smith's gloves. Now I just need to go get the ice gloves and then I can imbue them into it and then I can finally wear it because they will be an imbued item. But of course, I've got to go get them. So let's go mage down the Ice Queen. That's the ice gloves obtained. Now that I finally have both, I can combine them and then get myself some Smith's Gloves Eye, which are really nice. I don't think they give me any stats anymore, which kind of sucks. No, they don't give me any stats. I thought maybe they'd give me a couple of defensive stats because the ice gloves have a couple, but that doesn't matter. I can still wear them now. Was it worth it to do and save me time? Absolutely not, but it could save me time in the future when I am doing Blast Furnace, and it's just such a nice quality of life thing to have ice gloves. You truly don't know how bad it is when you don't have them. So now I'm going to go make all the cannonballs I have with my leftover ore because I had to make a fair few bars, but I've got about 2,000 coal left. I have a lot of money to go buy iron ore now, so I'm going to go make some cannonballs with all the coal that I have left, and then go use that for the Wilderness Slayer, and then I'll use Lyran's Keys and everything else like that to hopefully get some more of my cannonballs back. Hey you! You're obviously watching this since you love cosmetic items, right? Well, what if I told you instead of pimping out your character in-game, you can pimp out your room in real life? With this episode's sponsor, Creator Crafted, you can do just that. Creator Crafted has just dropped a new RuneScape plushie lineup and more statues. All the new RuneScape plushies look great. They've got Zabak, Mole, Kraken, Rocky, and a Red Chinchompa. Pre-orders just opened, so get yours before they ship. Plus, you can bundle 3 or more plushies for 15% off each. And if you use my creator code Z10, you can get an additional 10% off all orders. You know what else you can bundle and save on? Crumb's RuneScape statues. So bundle 3 or more of his new statues that dropped. There are Bandos, Mole, Vorkarth, and Jad. I have the Bandos statue, and it is so high quality. As I mentioned before, you can bundle 3 or more of these products for 15% off each, and use my code Z10 for an additional 10% off your order. So if you want some plushies, statues, RuneScape mouse mats, LED signs, or even stickers, then click my link in the description and use code Z10 for 10% off all your orders. Thank you, Creator Crafted, for sponsoring this episode. But let's go start doing that then. I've just finished making all the cannonballs and I've got over 9,000 cannonballs. So this should be pretty good for Slayer for a little bit. I will go back and make more when I do need more, but I've just got to go continue my task. My last task I had was lesser demons, I'm pretty sure. So I've still got 77 greater demons to go, so let me go and do those. One other good thing about coming back here now with the cannon is, with my lava battle staff, it actually has much better stats than what I was previously using, which was the skull scepter. The lava battle staff has 28 crush bonus, which makes my cannon roll off that crush bonus, which makes it much more accurate. The previous skull scepter only had like 7 or something, so it was really inaccurate. But because of this staff, it just makes it so much easier. I've got myself another upgrade already, and that is the Ring of Wealth scroll. This will let me imbue a Ring of Wealth, meaning I can now wear it. I do already have the crafting level for it as well, since I'm already at 61. So I'm going to make some just after this task. I've decided while I'm banking and grabbing more cannonballs, I'm going to make some now. The Ring of Wealth is going to be the first ring that I can actually wear right now, and it's going to automatically pick up coins for me. And since it's imbued, it's actually going to mean I get clue scrolls at basically half the rate on monsters in the wilderness. So more clues is going to be good because that means potentially more cosmetics. While doing the task, I actually managed to complete a hard clue scroll. I opened it up and I only got Armadillo braces. That was the only real thing I could wear. But honestly, that's not bad at all because they will come in handy in the future. And already 40 Slayer. That came by really quick. I've done a couple tasks in the wilderness now. I think I got Ice Warriors, and then I also had to skip an end task with Turiel. But honestly, the XP is still coming by pretty quick. To already have 40 Slayer, it went by really fast. The next milestone is about 52 Slayer for jellies, so I'm just going to really wait for that. Since I last played, there's been a massive change, and that change is new cosmetics, which are the Deadman cosmetics. So I played Deadman mode and got myself a bunch of points because I got to rank 420 with nearly 70,000 points. I do only need about 32,000 points for the items that I want, but this does change what kind of build I want to go on the account. I've been wanting to build this account as a 50 attack pure since there was no other good special attack weapons that had a cosmetic upgrade like a Granite Mole does. That was until the Deadman mode cosmetics, and the new Voidwaker cosmetic, as well as the new Darkbow one. So I've decided I'm going to change my account build. I'm going to become a 42 defense pure, which will make me able to use Void. I will also be getting my prayer up, which will mean I can actually use protection prayers for my Slayer training. I honestly think this will be the best way for me to be able to get kills and get the points for other uniques in Bounty Hunter. So to start, I actually want to get my prayer up and get protection prayers before I get into some of the quests I want to do. So I'm going to mage some lava dragons and get myself some bones to use on the Chaos Altar, which I should only need about 100 of if I have average RNG. Oh man, that kind of sucks. I couldn't get my recording up in time. But I kind of killed someone. He wanted to try and attack me with the Mithril bolts poisoned and just like a Mithril crossbow. Obviously just like rag other bots and stuff. But he kind of stood next to the dragon and he was just attacking me. And I was like, he's not going to do that much damage because he was only level 42. I was like, I'll just attack him back. So I attacked him back at Dragon Spawn, bopped him for an 18. There we go. That's my first kill on this account. Looks like I've just done my last trip of dragons. I was getting about 8 kills every inventory because I was taking about 250 casts. And I probably kept around about the same kind of money. I think I spent about 200k. And I probably made that back in the other rune items that I got that I can easily alch. So that would be pretty good. I've got 107 lava dragon bones now too. So using these up on the Chaos Altar should definitely get me to the 45 prayer that I want right now. Now it's time to basically go ruin my pure and get myself up to 45 prayer. Now let's use up these lava dragon bones on this altar here. Hopefully I don't die too much. I think I can afford 1 death with my current bones and stuff. So hopefully it goes that way. But if I move my inventory here, I can just do this and just watch for PKs basically. This is my last inventory of bones currently, and it does look like I'm going to get 43 prayer. Yep, there we go, 43 prayer. I now have protect from melee. I did have enough bones to actually get me to 45 prayer, but I got here and got killed with a whole inventory. I did bury half of them just in the ground though, but I did die for 60k worth of bones, which was about, I don't know, maybe 10, 12 bones or something. So, well, it is what it is. But 43 prayer is just fine. I can't use Eagle Eye at the minute, but I don't think I'm really going to need it that much while I'm ranging and stuff at the minute. But I will get more of it in the future when I can get up to Mystic Might. But for now, that's all the prayer that I wanted. So I am going to go and basically just go start doing some Slayer, I think. No, I'm doing quests. I'm doing some quests now, and that should get me everything that I need. Of course, the best way to start my quest grind and getting my defense and stuff up would be doing Monkey Madness. Since I'm not going to be a 50 attack peer anymore, I'm going to go much higher. I'm going to do Monkey Madness now, give myself access to the Dragon Scimitar, so I can hopefully get a Dragon Scimitar ornament kit in one of the clues I do in the future. If not, then I might just main hand the Voidwaker, which will actually be better DPS than the Dragon Scimitar. It's time to finally go down the ladder and run through this long area. I only have a 2-dose prayer potion in my bank, so I'm thinking I might have to hop across to a PvP world at some point so I can actually use my blighted supplies, because that's about the only way I'm going to be able to make it through this quest. Because yeah, 2 doses of prayer potion, not really going to do it for me. Other than that, I'm probably going to one-tick flick as I run through this cave. Time for the new monkey tech to come in. Well, the new mithril seed tech, that is. Thank you to Solo Mission and Port Khazard for finding this out. So now I can just walk straight up there. Usually you have to go all the way around the island and go all the way around from here and go all the way up, go over that, and then talk to the monkey there, and then run all the way back, and then the guard lets you in. But for some reason, you can just path under them with the mithril seeds. So that kind of helps. There we go. Quest completed. Now I can go upstairs and go get my XP and hopefully not put it in the wrong one. So what I want to focus on here is increasing my strength and stamina. That means I'm going to get more strength and HP XP and less XP in defense. The other one does give me more defense XP, but I do want less so I can end up with a little bit less defense from these quests. I think from all the quests I want to do, I am going to end up on 43 defense. So that's kind of fine. I could go up the extra 2 levels and get to 45 and be an actual Zerker. I don't think that will benefit me much, but I don't know if 2 defense levels is really going to matter combat-wise later. But for now, I'll focus on strength and stamina, and then we'll see what defense level we get to. I think it's going to be 30-something. 33 defense already, okay. I'm up to 62 strength as well, and 49 attack. That's not bad. 53 HP as well, which does kind of suck, but it's definitely going to go up, and I've gone up 9 combat levels. That's actually crazy. What I want to do next is I want to go do Dragon Slayer 1. That's going to get me a bit more defense XP. I don't know if it's quite going to get me 40 defense yet, but it might put me pretty close. Now it's time to kill Alvarg. But since the anti-fire shield isn't a cosmetic, I can't actually use it for this fight. So I'm going in without it. It should be fine because I'm just going to flinch at the whole fight, so it won't really matter. I'm just going to tank the first little Dragonfire hit, which should be okay because I'm using Protect from Mage, and then just drag it over to this spot over here, and I should be all good. Protect from Mage does not help, and that completely drained my prayer. Good to know. There we go. Now we have it safe spotted. Now I'll just be able to attack it and walk back once my stats restore. So I might actually just wait this one out a little bit because that completely drained my stats without the Dragonfire shield. This is definitely going to be one of the slowest Alvarg kills out there. I'm still waiting for my stats to obviously restore, but I thought while I'm waiting, I may as well just try and hit it for some damage. I'm hitting occasionally, but if I stuff up again, my stats are going to get drained. So as long as I don't stuff up, this will get completed. If I do stuff up, I'm going to be here for probably 2 times as long. Successfully flinched, and I didn't even get hit again while doing it. So that's good. And we get 18,650. All the way up to 40 defense already. So yeah, I can use Rune. I can't remember what I've actually got on this account from Clue Scroll. So I actually need to go have a look real quick. But for armor I could use a black H2 helm, my black H1 shield, unless I have something better. I don't think I do. No. And it doesn't look like I really have any good armor as well. I've got a steel plate skirt. Gee, I am going to be looking very fancy. Now I'm basically doing all the quests that get me defense XP that I'm going to need for the future. So now this is going to be Nature Spirit completed in just a second. That's going to get me just a minor amount of defense XP, but I may as well get this done now while I am still training up my defense, because it's better than getting it later when I've already hit the level and getting a little bit extra and pushing me closer to levels I don't want. So this quest is going to be good for doing things like Barrow's gloves and like stuff in the future, even though I can't use Barrow's gloves, but getting the quests out of the way is also going to be good for all the other XP and all the other skills that they offer me. I have about 7 more quests left I want to do that actually give me some defense XP, but 2 of them are going to be a little bit harder for my current like attack and my strength stats right now. So I might actually have to move through just some of the lower level ones and then move up to those a little bit later. Between a rock completed, and that's got me to 42 defense so far. What lies below completed for another 2000 defense XP and 51 rune crafting. A Soul's Bane completed. There we go. In Search of the Myreek is now done as well. In Aid of the Myreek done. And that's the last quest I can actually do right now with my current levels, but that's going to get me another defense level whenever this guy stops yapping. I got to 50 attack. That does mean I can now use a Granite Maul. I think I definitely am still going to go towards 60 just because of the other stuff I can use like the Void Waker. There is a chance I could stay at 50 if I really wanted to and still use a Granite Maul, and I could just use a ranged weapon as well with full Void on, which honestly could be a path that I go. I'm honestly not sure what I want to do still. I still reckon the Void is the way to go, but a Void with a Magic Shortbow and a Granite Maul special attack could honestly get me a lot of kills, but I do feel like the Void Waker is just going to be really good as well. And there's my 43 defense, ruining the Void Pure, but I'm probably going to get 45 by the end of it. Now I just need to go get out some other skills, and then I'll be able to do the last 2 quests, which is going to be Fremennik Trials and then also Heroes Quest. And that's already 40 woodcutting down, so that's the one for Fremennik Trials. Just got to go get all the other skills up just for Heroes Quest now. 53 fishing achieved, that's the level I needed. I also got 53 cooking on the way, which is also the level I needed for the Heroes Quest. Now, 25 Herblore, so I'm going to go kill some Chaos Druids. While trading Herblore, I also knocked out some other quests for some Herblore XP. So that's Shades of Morton done, and the dig site completed. There we go, 25 Herblore. That's all the requirements that I needed for Heroes Quest. I just have to do like 2 or 3 prereq quests that are really, really fast. So I'll go get those knocked out, and then we can finally do Heroes Quest and get all the quests done that I want for defense XP. And then I can finally make myself some armor upgrades as well, using very little known ways to get these cosmetics, because you can actually make them yourself. And I think I've never seen anyone with these cosmetics on. I'll be honest. I've never seen anyone with them on doing anything in the game, not GE standing, bank standing anywhere, not even in Fashionscape contests. So I think these are some of the most like truly forgotten pieces of content in the game, because anyone can get these cosmetics as long as you have like 41 construction or something. When I enter this door, that is going to be Lost City completed. There we go. That's all the quests I need for Hero Quest now. Get this dirty thing out of my hands because that's not a cosmetic and I only need it for the quest. Now I can go do Heroes Quest, and then that's the last one I needed for my defense XP, and then we can finally make those cosmetics. And since I can't use the Draymond staffs, I'll have to access Zenaris in a pretty odd way every time I want to come back. I'm basically going to have to go through the Abyss, come out the Cosmic Altar, and then I'm in here. That's going to be the way I'm going to be able to get there until I either get like a Lunar Staff, which of course is an upgraded Draymond staff, or like the cosmetic of a Draymond staff in a way, or I just get the Lumbridge Elite Dari done. Other than that, I'm not using fairy rings or anything really. And with this, the quest is already over. It's actually a much quicker quest than what I remember. Every single time I do it, I'm always surprised by how quick it is. But good quest to get done. That means I do have access now to a Dragon Mace and a Dragon Battle Axe in the future, because they do both have cosmetics if I choose to go get them. So that is going to be pretty good. And of course, just a couple random levels and miscellaneous skills. But that's all the quests that will give me defense XP for right now. So if I do want to get to 45 defense, I just need to get up another 2 more levels. Or I could just stay on this defense and go get my Void and stuff later, which I'm probably going to do. Now it's time to actually go make the cosmetic items. First, I just have to go get my construction up. So I'm just going to go chop some oak trees and get that up real quick. Already 41 construction. That's what level I need. Now I can make my shield easel. That is what I need to make these cosmetics. So let me go back to the bank and get the supplies and stuff that I need to make these. And then we can make it. I'll see if I actually have them right now. Then I can make it and go grab myself my Rune Kite Shield and Rune Full Helm. So it's in a workshop, and then I just have to go over to this space over here, and then I can make my shield easel. Yeah, it's just 4 oak planks. Perfect. So I'm going to go get myself my Rune Kite Shield and my Rune Full Helm. As you just saw, these cosmetic shields and helmets are made in the heraldry space in the workshop of a player-owned house. Here, you can customize steel, adamant, and Rune Kite shields or full helmets. You can't just go to the space and paint them whatever colors you want, though. They change depending on your family crest, which you can get from this guy in Falador. It costs 5k to swap between most of the crests besides the money crest, which will set you back 500k. But the shields and the helmets you can paint with this are sick. Some of my favorite helmets you can make here have to be the Joga, Guthix, and Asgarnia helmets, just because they look so different compared to what we normally see. The coolest part about this though is the shields by far. They have such unique designs for some of them. I love the Joga and the Fairy shield, not just because they look great, but because they actually have a really cool feature that not many people would know about. Notice anything different about these two characters' shields they are holding? The Fairy on the right shield has a darker skin color, and that's because the Fairy on the shield actually matches your character's skin color. So even if your character is cyan, your Fairy will also be cyan colored. That's such a sick little feature that was added. The Joga shield is similar, but a little different. What's different between these two character shields? If you said the trim on the shield matches the character's hair color, you would be right. So any hair color you get gives these shields a bit of a different color. These are such little features, and just having them added for people to find is amazing. Not many people are ever going to come across this, and I'd be very surprised if anyone watching actually knew about this. Plus, out of the 16 different shields you can make, these are the only 2 that have a feature like this, so that makes them very unique among the shields, and honestly, just very unique in general. But I've decided what shield and helmet I'm going to be getting, so let's jump back and go make them. One thing I do just have to do first before I head back with these 2 is I actually have to get myself a family crest to do this. There's a bunch of crests you can get in this game from the guy up in here, but I want one specific one for my shield, and then I'm going to actually come back and get a different one for my helmet. Depending on what one you actually have, it gives you different kind of looks to them, and I know what one I want from my shield. I probably explained and showed through a lot of shields in my explanation just before this. I'll show you what one I want in just a sec. I'm going to go to my house and we'll make the shield first, so you guys won't even be able to see my family crest at the minute. There we go. Now I have my crest. Now let's go use this over here. Now, if I use the painting stand, I should be able to make my rune heraldic shield, so I can make my own one. And there we go. I've made it. I've got my own rune shield. Look at this. This is such a weird thing you can do. I love it. If you couldn't tell what house I actually got the ham one. And for some reason, it just gives you a nice leg of ham on your shield. So this is actually really funny because it actually gives me the same defensive stats as a normal rune kite shield, but looks unbelievably better. This looks so amazing. I love it. Now, let me head off to Falador again, and I'm going to get a different crest for my helmet because I want one that kind of matches this shield, and the ham helmet doesn't kind of match with it. I'm actually going to go grab Dragon Crest, and that gives me a helmet that kind of looks similar to the shield, but I absolutely love the look of this shield, and knowing that it's giving me rune defense stats still is so good to have because obviously I'm going to be 45 defense. So this is like one of the best defensive shields I can get. And until I get myself a Rune Defender ornament kit from a hard clue, this is what's going to stay in my offhand. And now I've changed over my house. I can go in just here as well and get a rune shield. Where are we? Not a rune shield. I can get a plumbed rune helmet. There we go. That's my one I wanted. Just because it kind of looks like the same color scheme as the shield. So yeah, that's actually sick. I love the look of this. Knowing that these are both rune items and both cosmetics, and I get good defensive stats from them, pretty cool, not gonna lie. I think these are some of the coolest and most unknown cosmetics in the game. Before I started this series, I actually had no idea this actually existed, so this was not part of my plan at all originally. I only got a comment about them, and that's the only reason that made me dig into it, so I'm actually really happy that these do exist, and I think they're really cool, and more people should get them. There's a bunch of other really cool shield designs and stuff that I like as well. Originally planning to go for the money one until I saw the ham. It would have cost me 500k, but 500k well spent. And there's also another really good one like the fairy kite shield. Honestly, I wish I would see more of these in Fashionscape in this game because the Fashionscape does already look pretty good, but I reckon these shields could add a lot to some other people's Fashionscape. So if you guys want to get your own shields, I'll leave a link to the actual shield easel page in the description. So you guys can have a look at the ones that are in there and maybe go make one yourself so I can see some more around the game.